Beautiful beings, thank you for joining me for another timeless tarot reading. I'll start by clearing the energy with my bell. Call upon my guides, my angels, and ancestors and galactic family of the highest love and light to channel through me the messages that they will need to hear at the time that this reaches them. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Let's see what is going on today. I had a very interesting dream last night and had this overall theme of being stronger than you realize, strength, magic, and people seeing you for who you really are. Ooh, love King of Pentacles energy. I'm going to see if anything wants to come out with this deck along with it. Awesome. So, with this King of Pentacles, typically is representing this stability, financial stability, but for some of you it could come through more as an emotional stability. And there's also just growth in general when I see all the green growth behind him. So you could be growing in a lot of ways, spiritually or mentally, emotionally, financially, or even just being seen, growing in maybe an audience of some sort. But there's this king energy of knowing what you're worth, knowing what you deserve. Some energy of, I'm getting protection and support. So there could be people in your life supporting you on this advancement that's coming forward, or just spirit guides and things like that who are there for you, who are encouraging you, who are excited for you and ready for this next chapter that's coming forward. And the way that he's holding the pentacles, it's like you're going to be holding on to your success, your financial security. You know, you're probably in this high achiever energy and going to or have or in the process of really reaching different financial goals you have for yourself. And there's this protective nature as well coming forward of protecting your investments, protecting the ones you love, protecting things that you just value and appreciate and love in the world. I mean, it could be people, it could be assets, it could be relationships or situations. But very protective of the people you care for. And there's this authority of like knowing who you are in the world, knowing your place, knowing what you deserve, knowing how much value you bring, how much knowledge, how much wisdom. Not really settling for less than what you really deserve. And there could be a note to carefully consider. There's this considering energy. I don't know. That's what I'm reading from his facial expression in his hand, of carefully considering the moves you make in property, business, relationships, you know, just being really careful about how you manage different aspects of your life and thinking carefully about maybe how you speak to certain people or what business decisions you're going into, or, you know, the way you're managing potential properties or advancing in your career. Just to be considerate and, you know, don't make decisions lightly, and don't, you know, jump the gun, and really just think about everything clearly before you, you know, go for it, whatever that is, with the opportunities or the situation that you're in right now. But there's this overall feeling of like stepping up, achieving your goals, and stepping up to the plate, stepping up to potentially a new position or the head of a new project or business or promotion. And just gaining wealth and respect. It's like they go hand in hand. When you respect yourself and you know your worth, and then people will also be respecting you and what you're worth and giving you what you deserve. And there's a big sense of security in like knowing who you are, knowing how valuable you are, and security in what you've been creating and establishing for yourself. Now this Sun card is specific to the White Newman deck, so I'm just gonna see if there's like a special meaning to this Sun card that's different than a traditional Sun card, because this is kind of sometimes different. Because usually you have the Sun, and usually there's a lot of like childlike energy from the Sun, this optimism, this joy, and this deck has a Moon and a Sun in it. They both kind of feel a little bit different than a traditional Sun, right? Especially you can see that, I don't know, usually there's a lot more like flowers and just this childlike optimism and energy. Not that that's not in this card, but there is just a slight more air of like seriousness in this version of the Sun. I mean, if you look at her face, it's like a face of determination. And again, like in both of these cards, we have this little like bird character. So you might have a connection to some sort of bird spirit animal, but to me it's coming forth as support. Like support from your guides, support from maybe your ancestors or whoever you connect with, but there's support on the other side, and probably like in this waking world too. But the definition in this little booklet says that a young woman calmly leaps forward, accompanied by a sky spirit on either side, these birds. In her hand, the Sun appears in the form of a charm, its light shining down to illuminate this half-shadowed world. Just as ancient rituals were thought to bring the sun afresh to the sky every day, it is her joyous task to return the sun to the sky and reawaken the world. An act of enlightenment, both deeply personal and profoundly universal. So there's this unstoppable energy, this movement, it's almost like full energy of leaping towards new beginnings and journeying forth in this new chapter and really creating what you want for yourself. This can be manifestations coming through, but it can also be like you pretty much setting yourself up for success, and whichever that might be for you. Like you put a lot of energy and attention and time into maybe a book, or promoting your book, or connecting with an audience, or your art or project at some sort of work, even if it's corporate. You're scientific, it's like you're spearheading this new venture, right? And your determination and your drive to go forward and basically create this success, create this sun energy with this 10 of Pentacles, this high achiever energy, this unstoppable driving force. And what I keep hearing is to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep charging forward like you're on the right path. And sometimes we create the opportunities that we seek. Sometimes instead of it landing in our lap, sometimes we're creating that. Maybe if you're creating a business or networking with an opportunity, and how you've honed your skills and how you have been preparing for this moment is what they're saying. There's some sort of preparation or like skills that you have been honing that are valuable, that is like potentially creating this opportunity for you. It's like she's holding the sun, she's illuminating, she's creating light. It's also giving light worker energy. Like, if, you know, the world is always going to be a mix of good and bad, and you're really on this side of creating the light you want to see in the world, being the good you want to see in the world. And there could be some nonprofit work going on, or just illuminating your own light and being that bright light in the world, and your personality and just who you are going throughout your day. Sometimes it's very big ways that you're doing these impacts, and sometimes it's in smaller ways, but they're all valid and beautiful and needed, because like we're these beacons of light that is helping to illuminate all the shadows, that is helping to spread light where maybe there wasn't light before. But there's a lot of forward motion that's going on, of it also, in like acceleration is coming forward really strongly, like accelerating progress of something that maybe you've been working on or working towards of some sort. Like it's really beautiful energy. It's like this get up and go, and unstoppable is the best word to describe you. And it's like you have this strength, you have this determination and this ability to really go after what you want, this, and be successful in what you're going after or creating for yourself. Because we all have these different paths, different careers, different paths that we're taking, but this underlying message of cultivating your success, you know, it's like you're farming your success and not letting people get in the way or stop you or like turn you away from your path. And again, you have these spirits that are guiding you, that are supporting you, that are like helping you. Let's see, is there any more that wants to come out from this crystal tarot? I'm not really feeling like these want to pull, so I'm not going to force it, you know. If nothing wants to really jump out, then I'm not going to force the cards to give me something or force any type of message. Let's see if there's an animal with some wisdom and guidance for this journey, for this message, for this energy of acceleration, of growth, of it's like going 0 to 100 real soon. Okay, that's a lot. So let's just see what they have to say, because what's interesting is that usually this animal deck doesn't drop more than one at a time. This is the first time it's really done a bulk like this. And I find it very interesting because it dropped 3. And in these cards, we have 3 birds, 2 on her shoulder and 1 on his. So I feel like they're trying to say there are 3 people who are guiding you, whether it's in the spirit realm or this physical incarnation. So let's see what these animals have to say as support. So we have seal, we have imagination. Immerse yourself in artistic and creative expression. So one of the other messages that's coming really strongly from this card is you see how the seal is like basking in the sunlight, basking in the sun, basking in the glow. I just feel like there's a connection to this and this determination, and you potentially are going to be basking in the glow of your achievements, of your art being recognized, your personality being recognized, your accomplishments being seen and valued. And you will be able to bask in, like the glory of everything you've done and how far you've come to get to this point as well. And there could be something very creative that you're working on, that you're determined to bring forth. However creativity is for you. Dance, singing, visual art, books. There's so many different ways to express yourself artistically. Even engineers are very creative with solutions, and marketing, you have to be really creative. And there's a lot of art in everything we do, science and everything. Everything's connected. Like, we have to have this creative, imaginative lens in order to create something new that's never been done before, never been seen before, that can really set yourself out. It's like, I'm also seeing this seal as like setting itself apart from the rest. Like, you've set yourself apart from the rest by how you conduct yourself, how you behave, how you move, how you create, and how you express, and how determined you are. And also there's wisdom. It's not just determination, it's also your wisdom of how you're managing yourself and your life and the moves you're making to advance yourself in some way. Then we have retreat. Stop trying to make something happen. So this is interesting because we have these clashing cards of this pushing forward and creating this light that needs to exist. But I think the turtle is not necessarily a bad thing, or saying that you shouldn't be determined, right? To me, this turtle is coming forward as a reminder to not burn yourself out. Because sometimes when we're charging ahead and trying to make something happen, we put all of our energy and all of our focus on it to the point that it starts becoming detrimental to ourselves. And burnout is really real. And I want you to be careful about burnout and not go 0 to 100 without any breaks, without any stops. It's like the turtle is reminding you that go at your pace that is sustainable. You don't want to go too fast and burn yourself out of anything. So make sure to take breaks and make sure to just pace yourself at what you're going to achieve and are achieving. And sometimes when we try to force things too much, it can be a little detrimental if we're forcing a specific situation to happen. It's not like we're forcing something to manifest or forcing this thing to happen, right? We are just making sure that we're prepared for the opportunity to present itself. We're prepared to step up and be in that position. Instead of forcing that, we should focus on ourselves and making sure we're ready for that upgrade, for that new achievement. They're showing me like video games, like new achievement unlocked. So maybe that resonates with some of you. But, we don't want to force it. We want to be determined, but we want to go and walk and chase our dreams at a pace that doesn't destroy us, that doesn't, just give us burnout, essentially. So this is like a reminder of like the pace and not trying to force it, and making sure that you're prepared and you're ready and you're honed to accept the offer that is potentially coming towards you. And then we got butterfly, which is transformation. Get ready for a big breakthrough. So for some of you, this could be a spiritual advancement or an emotional advancement. There could be an aha moment coming through, of how you view yourself or how you're viewing a situation or the world. And there could be a lot of healing is coming through, not just transformation, but when you heal these different parts of yourself that have been wounded, it really can change who you are as a person when you're not carrying around the wounds the same way, or you're tending to them in a very healthy way that allows them to mend and heal, and you know how to handle it if the wounds start becoming irritated in some way. But there's just these upgrades. They keep saying achievement unlocked. So maybe you're going through like a spiritual advancement of some kind of, upgrading your chakras. Maybe you're clearing your pineal gland and your brain. Maybe you're opening your third eye or honing your chakras or Reiki healing. I don't know. It's so kind of vague because this is a collective reading. It's really hard to get a pinpointed specific, right? Because everyone is transforming in very different ways, but it's all giving this energy of beautiful and not really maybe recognizing yourself after this. And it could be a very physical thing, or it could be really just an emotional or mental thing where people see you and you have a totally different view of the world, of yourself, and maybe a newfound confidence, or also this glow, this glow, not necessarily like a pregnancy glow, but like a glow of knowing, your place in the world, how much value you bring to the table, and the things that you create, and who you are, and the light that you shine. And it's like you're spreading your wings and shining your light and just not afraid of what anyone thinks or says. And it's okay to be your true authentic self, and people will be drawn to your specific light. Ooh. This is so interesting. So we have Helena, Halia, I don't know how to say her name. But the bottom of this card says, doing things together helps our friendship grow. And once again, I'm drawn to all these seagulls. I don't know why there's so much bird energy going on. Birds, seal, and then seagulls. Like, it's very interesting. And kind of like this theme of wings, of flying, of transformation. But this is pinpointing a little bit of friendship, and maybe collaboration is needed. And with the turtle and not, going towards burnout, not being too determined, maybe you need to lean on some support, lean on some friends, ask for help when you need help with different aspects of your life. It's okay to ask for help and receive support. And ultimately, when we're trying to, have these manifestations, we need to be in a place where we're ready and open to receive the blessings that want to come through for you and the opportunities that want to come through for you. So we want to be open and receptive, and that's part of the not forcing anything, right? We want to be open because sometimes we're so focused on one specific outcome or one specific way this thing can manifest or can come through, it closes us off from other opportunities we weren't even thinking about. So we just need to be open to the idea of things coming through in unique and different ways that you weren't expecting. But there is this beautiful, playful energy of friendship. There's this fiery energy, this very Sagittarius energy, or just fire sign energy in general of ambition and travel and growth and friendship and lightheartedness, laughing, playing. We don't want to get so focused on this one thing, this project or this goal or this manifestation, that we forget to have fun with our friends and we forget to really nurture the other aspects of our life that matter as well. Yourself, your relationships, and how you really want to show up for yourself and for others in the world. But beautiful, fiery, winged energy is coming through. And as always, you have the ability to see messages through these cards as well. So I always encourage you to, of course, take what resonates and leave the rest. But if you're seeing other messages in here that I'm not saying, I'd love to hear it. And I'm really encouraging you, are there symbols here that mean something specific to you? Are butterflies a synchronicity? Do you have a connection to any of these symbols or messages that you're interpreting from these? Could be a little bit different. But we all have this gift of intuition and this spiritual aspect to ourselves that you can tap into to see underlying messages that are just for you. Let's see, is there something that wants to come through these oracle cards? One thing interesting is I'm feeling like heat, like physical heat after pulling this fire card. Feeling not like heated as in angry, just like physical, like it's hot, like it's warming up. And not, I think it's trying to come through, it's coming through as a physical sense, but it could have a different meaning to it. Like things could be heating up for you, things could be turning up in temperature in some way. It doesn't feel like pressure, it just feels like, like when you unlock a new level or you're transformed and now you're potentially going to take on a new challenge. It's like turning up the heat. And you're going to succeed. You're meant to succeed. You're meant to really shine. And maybe the heat is also just the light that you give off. It's very warm. It's very impactful. Ooh, awesome card. The Pilot. I will seek out inspiration. I'm really drawn to this because this is really coming forward a lot like the horse that's flying and the sun and like this King of Pentacles and this travel energy. Maybe some of you are going to be traveling soon as well, but it's like as the pilot, right? You determine the destination and you're trying to get to maybe point A or point B, but there could be several different ways to get there, right? Like several different paths you could take. And we don't want to close ourselves off from all these beautiful different pathways to get to the same outcome. I think that's what they're trying to say with like the forcing things with the turtle card of like, you want this outcome. We don't want to force how you get there because maybe along the way you're taking a different route and you end up at a different outcome, but it's just as beautiful. Like maybe this is all metaphor, but you're going to this one planet and then you end up at a new planet, but that planet has even more of the things that you're looking for. More sun, more beautiful beaches, more water, maybe less rocky terrain. It's like a totally different experience. But also there's this this air of like, you're ultimately in control. You're of control of how tightly you're gripping the reins, and you're in control of how fast you're going to get there, potentially. Like if you're going pedal to the metal, but then if you do that, you might burn out, you might run out of gas, quite literally, is what they're saying. So there's this power, like there's this elevation of energy of this king, this sun of, you're in the driver's seat, you're in control of the direction you want to take in your life, and I'm really drawn to this takeoff, because that's like this acceleration energy of like, you're about to take off in some way, whether it's like with your career or with who you are as a person, or maybe you're moving, but there's this takeoff energy, right? And it's like, you're ready for it. You have the requirements, like you're qualified for this new chapter, for this new opportunity or destination, wherever you're going, whatever you're going to end up. It's like you're meant to be there. You're meant to be in that spot that you want to be, in that position, in that role. And they're saying accolades for some reason, like accolades, achievements that you could be getting for your work and something you've created, or who you are, or what you've done. And this seeking out inspiration, right? Especially if you're a creative, and inspiration can play a big part in creative projects. Maybe you're chasing the next big thing, the next inspiration, the next spark that will set you off on this creative explosion where you're going to be building something entirely new from a new experience that you have, or something you see, or something you encounter that really inspires you. And it could be in an artistic sense, but it could also be an inspiration in a different sense. Like maybe you go to a conference and you see a different way people are, doing things in different corporate worlds, or engineering, or science, or anything really. And you're like, oh, that's such a cool concept, or that's such a cool idea. Like maybe I can apply that to what I do. And it could also be totally different. This could also be spiritual. This could be going to a spiritual retreat of some kind, or even like a music festival, and meeting different people that inspire you on this new path or this new opportunity. And there's like support. There's this air of friendship as well, and support. They're saying like group project energy is like what's going on. Because maybe like you're hanging out with this group of people, and then they're all inspiring you to, take on this new thing, or create this business, or they want to support you on this path. It's like you're becoming who you've always meant to be. You're really stepping up. And it's like spirit is proud of you. Your guides are proud of you. They love watching you grow and change, and it's a lot of support. So this is really all going in alignment, and I usually never shuffle this deck. This is the first time I've shuffled this deck in a long time, and usually it doesn't want to be shuffled, but today it was like, let's try it. And shining your light coming out couldn't be more perfect for this, because this is you, your radiance, your energy, your gifts, your soul, your frequency is meant to be seen. It's meant to be felt. It's meant to create waves and prisms of light. Like you see all these wavelengths like radiating off of her, and she's just like a freaking beam of light. And this goes right along with the sun energy of basically holding the sun, creating the light, being the light in the world that you're meant to be. You're meant to be creating, you're meant to be shining, you're meant to not just be seen, but maybe be heard, be felt. And that could be in a very large way, in like a media way, but it could also be in little ways, right? When you go to different conferences or retreats or festivals, like people might be attracted to your light, or they might feel this sense of warmth around you, or this just radiance being in your energy, your field, your energetic field is so, they're saying calibrated, like you can calibrate it to higher frequencies, and potentially that allows you to shift and see things or experience things of different frequencies. The way that you're able to manipulate your frequency higher and higher to meet higher dimensional things where they're at is coming through. But your essence means so much. Your existence does so much. Even if you're not chasing a big goal and you just want to live a peaceful like retirement or a peaceful life, right? Where maybe you don't have a whole lot going on, but you're existing in peace. You're existing in this base of love and light, and that radiates out into the world and just brightens the frequency of Earth and the frequency of the plants and the frequency of the animals and the crystals. And like, you could potentially infuse crystals with a lot of light and a lot of love energy. That's something that's really coming through. Okay, I'm being drawn to use my symbols. So let's see. What wants to come forward? Feeling this one. So let's see. These are symbols I channeled from my galactic family. They're kind of like runes, but they have different meanings that I've written on the back. So this is a symbol for liberation, especially those who survived and chosen truth over comfort over and over again. For those who name the false and walk away and move forward anyway, even when their hands shake. There's no shame in cutting ties, no guilt in choosing a higher path. Let go of what binds you to what you are not. You were never meant to shrink into illusion. This can help activate your solar plexus and upper crown, especially in times of major shifts like shedding old missions, changing timelines, cutting cords. So this is a beautiful sign of liberation. And maybe that's part of your transformation, is maybe you are cutting ties with maybe the old version of you, or people who don't lift you up in the ways that you deserve to be lifted up. And you will